How to use your intuition when it comes to business. So many of my clients are incredibly intuitive and they work with their clients to help them with their needs, their goals, their mindset, whatever they focus on in their business. And as soon as a client comes to them with a problem, they can help. They've got solutions, strategies, coaching questions, holding space, and they're so good at supporting others. But when it comes to ourselves, we don't have or feel like we have that same level of confidence to make the right decisions. So in today's video, I really want to talk about how we can start harnessing our own strengths and using our intuition the way we would to support someone else to support ourselves. And the reason I want to talk about this is because especially if you have an online business, it's ever changing. It's moving so rapidly. Things move so quickly. And that can mean sometimes you feel like you can't catch your breath. You know, there's new apps coming out, new features coming out on each app. Everything just seems to be changing so quickly. And therefore, if we don't have a real strong connection to why we're doing this, who we are and what our strengths are and how we make decisions, we can get swept up and distracted by all of these things that come up. So how can you start to harness your own intuition in your business? The first thing I want to talk about is your decision making. When you make a decision from your most confident, content and aligned version of you, how are you making decisions? Is it with confidence, with ease, with excitement, with decisiveness, with a level of pride? How are you making decisions when you really feel in alignment with yourself and you fully trust where you are going? And here's a journal question for you. If I fully trusted in my own potential, what decisions would I be making? If I fully trusted in my own potential, what decisions would I be making? And I want you to think about that. So when you're looking at these decisions and you're really in alignment and you're like, yes, no, this is what I need. What takes you away from that decision mechanism? Is it fear, self-doubt, other people's opinions, results, clients saying no, objections, the online space, comparison? The list goes on. Where are you finding yourself taken away from your aligned decision-making mechanism? And that's the first thing I want you to look at when you're feeling like you can't and you're blocked from your own intuition. How can we start to make better decisions and more aligned decisions more frequently? And where are the things that we need to avoid and we need to become mindful of? Do we actually need to spend less time consuming content because that's where you find yourself comparing? Do you need to have better boundaries with people so that they aren't penetrating you with their emotions? What needs to be done to make sure that you can harness your decision-making mechanism and feel really aligned to it? What needs to change? And you know the answers to that. Use that journaling question and you'll soon find incredible insights that you didn't know were there. So really start to look at that. If you fully trusted in yourself, what decisions would you be making? Number 2, patience. This is not my strong point, everyone. I love to move forward, have momentum, make progress, look at strategies. But I also am obsessed with making sure, especially the longer I've been in this journey, that I'm always listening to my gut and I'm always listening to myself. And sometimes we need patience / stillness. So I want you to ask yourself and reflect, how often are you allowing patience and stillness into your day? And here are some examples. Something doesn't go the way we anticipated it would. So an instant reaction is, what can we do next? What haven't I done? Where could I change this? How can I show up more? Where should I push through? What needs to be done? Action, action, action. If we get a negative comment, how can I respond? How can I make this better? And we instantly go into this recovery mode. How can we recover this situation? What else can I do? We might even go straight to our coach. This didn't work the way I thought it would. Help me. What can I do differently? I need support. Where do I need to go? What's missing? What are the missing links? And we don't stop to give ourselves stillness so that we can answer these questions for ourselves. What do you really need in that moment? What is really necessary for you when you're looking at situations that haven't gone the way that you thought they would? Patience and stillness allows us to really reflect on what we need, and it could be just watching a Netflix program. It could be having a bath, it could be going for a walk, it could be reading a book. But we need to give ourselves stillness. We need more stillness. We need more time to actually allow our thoughts to process. And this is the thing with this ever-changing, fast-paced world that we're in. Sometimes that doesn't happen because there's always something new on the feed, something new to watch, something new to consume, something new to create. But we have to give ourselves time to come up with these ideas. And a perfect example, I am not at home. And by the time you're watching this, it would have been a few weeks, but I spent the evening when I got here, I had a bath, I watched a movie. It was lovely. And I had some stillness. I didn't go on my phone too much. And I noticed all of these new ideas come to me. So this is number 3. In order to harness your intuition, the third thing that I do is I use the notes app on my phone. And all I do is write down any idea that I've got, any idea at all. And I allow all of these thoughts and everything to just bubble out, to come out. And usually it is before I go to bed, or it could be when I'm walking around. So I like to be able to have it, with me quickly. And I just type them out. So it could be an idea for a new video, like this one. It could be an idea for a new person to interview on the podcast. It could be a new way to support you. It could be a new way to promote things in the business. There's so many things that come to me. So I write them all on my phone. And when I achieve them, I then delete them. So this list becomes bigger and smaller all the time. So in order to harness your intuition, the third thing I would really invite you to do is think about a way for you to start holding on to your intuitive thoughts and your intuitive feelings. Keep them somewhere, write them down so that you aren't in a space of potentially having to react so quickly to them and feeling like it's a thought, but then it becomes a thing so quickly and then it turns into something you didn't want it to be. So give yourself the opportunity to write down and look after, collect your intuitive thoughts so that when you do allow more space and more time and you allow your space to become filled with this energy, you will know what to act on first and you will know what needs to become a priority. But it's really important that we have them somewhere. So I had this idea and oh my gosh, I've been thinking on this. And when my clients come to me with that, it's so exciting, amazing. So you've had this idea, brilliant. Let's think about how we can bring that to life. What do you want to do next? So have a way to collect your intuitive thoughts. And number 4, I'm going to give you some questions to think about. When you really want to harness your intuition, like, look, don't get me wrong, of course, I freaking love a strategy, and you know I do, and you know I love a plan, and I love being able to have a direction and clarity, but I also love trusting myself, and no one makes decisions in my business better than me. And I'm very aware that that's how I function. I love that. I like the movement and the clarity and the let's go here and this is what we're working towards, and I like the bigger picture thinking. But I also do spend a lot of time reflecting. And I think that's key. So I would love for you to spend some time looking at these journaling questions, and you could think about the answers, you could write them down. It's totally up to you. There is no rule book here. In fact, this is a bonus tip before I get to number 4. So this is now number 4. There is no one way. Please remember that. There is no one way to do this. There is no one way that you can harness your intuition. There is no one way that you can run your business. There's no runway. There's no one way to show up on social media. There is no rule book. Of course, you've got things like algorithms, hashtags, location setting, all of these things. But in terms of you, your intuitive nature, your content, your passion, the way that you're showing up, there is no one way for us to be doing that. So give yourself the opportunity to embrace that a little bit. And I have clients and they're like, okay, so I'm launching this and I'm doing this and I've got this client. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, what about this? I didn't even think of that. You can create your own rules. What about this? That is such a good idea. Oh my gosh, I can definitely do that. And that's one of my superpowers, being able to find the gaps and weave in the magic as we go, and creating another way of thinking and opening my clients up to their potential, their true potential, and not capping them in this idea of rigidity, what needs to happen next. There's always a way that we can make this flow more for ourselves and to benefit us. So yeah, there is no rule book. Number 5, journaling questions. So I'm just going to give you 3 questions to really think about how you can start harnessing your intuition. Number 1, where do you feel most intuitive? Where do you feel most intuitive? What is that feeling for you? Number 2, how can you harness your intuition better? And number 3, when I fully trust my intuition, how will I show up differently? And I'd love to know what comes up for you with those questions and your reflections. But how to start harnessing your intuition. This is a little bit of a taster, but I hope you've enjoyed this and my 5 top tips to support you and just give you some food for thought, some different ways to think about it, and for you to become this really resilient, resourceful, independent businesswoman. And you deserve to be that as well. So if this has been really helpful and you want more support, then just make sure you go to all of the links attached to this. So you've got my Instagram, we can come and hang out there. You've got all of my free resources, and you've also got our new video masterclass trainings, as well as access to the business bundle. Incredible support available for you. So that is the next step, to go and have a look at all of those links and really start taking action on implementing what comes next. So I can't wait to see you on all of those links. Click away, and I will see you very soon.